like working with family?
It's going to be a therapy session.
So are you saying that it's ruined our relationship?
It's always good to have that middle ground person.
What do you want to work on?
Our relationship, it's okay to work with family, but be warned.
Hi, welcome to Changing Suits. My name's Bal.
And my name's Taj.
Do you know what I love? I mean, I was just about to say to the audience that this is our first one, that we are going video, but Taj is going to be more elaborate in her expressions. But as you can tell,
Dress up as well.
Well, we've got our t-shirts on, so we're happy today, everybody. So, welcome to the brand new part of the podcast, which is the video edition. So you can see the shock, the happiness, and the sadness on our face. Okay, we're not actually that elaborate when we record podcasts, so we'll try and keep it normal. Okay, so today we are doing our monthly podcast with me and Taj, all the thoughts and opinions of our lives and things that we're going through. Today we want to discuss working together. What is it like working with family? Is it good? Is it bad? Taj, go on. I know you've got a lot to say because you're the one that wanted to do this subject. What have you got to say about working with me?
Let's just put it this way. It's going to be a therapy session, this is going to be. I don't know if we're going to end up talking after it. We just might decide to go our separate ways. Let's just put it that way.
But it's fine. It's lucky because we've got a meeting straight after this, so we won't have time to fight. And that is a good point. So we found working on the podcast and working on the organisation as a whole has meant that obviously me and Taj were talking quite a lot before, usually gossiping. I've always...
I don't gossip.
Well, you kind of do, but it's okay. That was the whole premise of the Changing Suits podcast when we started. It turned to be very much more serious than that afterwards. But things have changed. So as we've been working on Changing Suits, both of us love it. We enjoy the work that we do. However, it has brought up some very interesting conversations. And when I say interesting conversations...
Are they conversations or are they fights?
Well, that's what I was about to say. Or are they fights? And I have to say, some of the times, Taj pisses me off. Right?
Thank you. Aim to please.
Okay, so I'm sure our listeners would know that sometimes I do have a bad memory, and it's always been brought up on certainly the earlier podcasts as to, oh, do you remember when this happened? And I'd be like, no. And then Taj would give us a sob story about how she remembers a certain memory and it was very sad and it impacted her. And it impacted her life and ruined it. And I wouldn't know what she was talking about. But I'm going to bring this up, and I haven't brought this up with Taj prior to this.
Do I want to go on recording?
So every so often, Taj, I say something and Taj's like, well, that is something I've said like a month ago. You didn't listen to what I was saying.
I'm going to agree, yeah.
Yeah, that's happened many, many times.
I feel like we should take minutes of every time we talk now, even when we're just having random chats.
And that is why we realised that organisations have minute takers. Okay, so that's fine. I agree. That is what happens. Sometimes Taj has said something I might have thought, yeah, okay, whatever.
This is evidence now.
Right?
This up every
but where's my phone? 1 second. Where's my phone gone?
Are you minuting something now?
I've lost my phone. So the other day she sent a text message. Where's my phone when I need it?
And this is what I should do, have the disappearing messages, because it sounds like it's something I'm going to regret.
Well, basically, I feel like you're taking it to another level where you say it and you're like, well, I did say that and you said this. And I'm like, oh, yes, I remember what it was. I remember it was a meeting and I said that I'd take it because you were busy. It was a meeting we had yesterday, actually.
Oh, yes, that one.
Right?
So you would take it.
Can we give it 1 second? I'm just going to run and get my phone.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna have to pause this. Give me 1 second, everybody. Okay, everybody, I'm back. Okay, so she said, I said, you're going to miss this meeting.
Yeah, so it might have...
No, this got nothing to do with that. And you said, you said you wanted to keep this meeting the same. I need to go to my appointment. Okay, so that was it. And I was thinking when she sent that, and by the way, I replied, okay, because I was going to start. And I was like, if I start this, she's going to phone me and then we're going to have a fight, right? And by the way, this is what we're going to talk about today. So I didn't say that I feel like the text message was said in a I told you, but you forgot that I told you as usual.
Yeah.
There we are. And I'm like, come on.
It was sent like that.
Okay, so it was sent like that. I wasn't reading too much into it. Why are you trying to start a fight? on a text message. You know that would annoy me.
You asked, "Oh, are you going to be in the meeting?" And I had said that I needed to go to this appointment because I haven't had it for ages.
So why are you trying to start a fight on the text message? Just say, I'm going to have to go to this appointment, but we haven't cancelled. I don't know, something a bit nicer, but I knew there was something behind that text message.
And your point is?
The point is, you're trying to start a fight with me for no reason, and you're trying to show that I've got a bad memory.
You have.
Yeah, but don't play on that though. I feel like sometimes you play on it. This is actually a really good one to start on a video, because these both of us are like. Anyway, so I feel like since we've started this organization and we are working a lot more together, you are trying to bring out the problems that I face, which is obviously that I don't remember certain things, and you're trying to use it to your advantage.
I'm not trying to use it to my advantage. I just want to show you that I have said something and you don't remember it.
Anyway, how have you found working with me?
Well, it's funny because we had a radio interview when we started first this podcast, and the person asked us in this radio interview, "How are you finding working like as sisters?" And we were like, "La-di-da, we love it," and we did at that time.
Why, you don't love it now?
But as time has gone on, we've realised we need to have a break for each other.
Yeah.
And we're like, we don't phone each other in the evenings anymore.
No.
Like,
I literally, I have to say, like, I was sitting on the sofa the other day and
I
your
do
phone came.
that sometimes you ignore my phone calls.
Hold up.
Taught me how to see that someone's read some text message, which I bet you regret doing.
Yeah, I do regret doing.
I know that you don't reply to all my text messages, even when you've read them.
Okay, can I just say, on the days where I don't want to talk to you in the evening, it's partly because we've literally spent the whole day talking.
I don't talk to you either.
And this is fine. You should be happy that I didn't pick up. Sometimes I might actually be doing something, and you always have a go at me saying, "Oh, I read that it says read." I'm sorry. Anyway, as you can see, there are some teething difficulties in running this organization with Taj. So anyone that wants to run an organization with Taj, be aware she phones you in the evenings as well. Okay, to be fair. Okay, so how our lives have slightly changed doing this. So we gossip less, which is probably a good thing because gossiping is not good. Although we did release an episode saying why it is important. It is a stress reliever, so it's not completely bad. But we don't really have time to talk about anything else now. It is very much about the organization. And that's not a bad thing. I feel like I've become more focused on, I want to do this. I want to make a change. I want there to be positivity that comes out of this. But it has changed the fact that we don't talk about family stuff as much, which is fine because I'm done with the family. I mean, I'm 37. How much more do I need? Huh?
You tell mum and dad.
No, it's fine. At least I phone them.
Yeah, like the way you reeled in. No.
Hold up. At least I phone them because I hear that you don't phone them as well. Okay, go on. I feel like this is turning into a bit of a session.
It isn't. No, okay. I think we have become more focused, and I think it's made us realise that we live two totally separate lives. We grew up in the same household, but I don't know where you were.
There we are. You're using my memory against me.
But maybe I've realised that you don't like... The reason why you don't remember these things is because it helps you cope with stuff.
See, I thought about this actually. Oh, this is getting interesting now. So anyone that was starting on this podcast, this is minute 8 is when you want to start listening to this properly. So I did actually think about this. Like, because there are things where you've said it and I'm like, I don't remember that happening. Even if like I was there, like I just don't remember it. And I was like, but is that a bad thing? Because if it is a coping strategy, and I don't know if it is, I'm pretty focused on what I want to do. To certain times where you've seen it, if I've only got a limited amount of time, I don't want to talk about anything else.
Yeah, which is great.
No, but it's the fact that I just need to focus on what we're doing, and if I don't do that, then it's not going to. No, actually, there's scientific evidence. I was listening to it the other day that humans can't multitask, and if they try to multitask, it takes longer.
So where did it stem from that women can multitask and men can't?
I don't know, but can we go back to what we were trying to say?
No, I don't want to.
Okay, fine. I don't know. I can find out. I mean, I heard it on the radio.
Now, usually you wouldn't say fine. You'd be like, no, roll your eyes, and then move on. So why are you pretending that you're nice?
Because this is getting recorded now. It's on the video version. This is making me feel awkward now. Okay, can we go back though? So Is there anything wrong with having a bad memory and not remembering certain things in the past? Because it's about
What
focus and moving on.
now analyzing you, because you're like an experiment now, I don't think it is, because maybe I'm keeping too much baggage, and maybe that's what's causing me anxiety. And maybe you don't keep that much baggage, as in you forget it and offload it, and your coping strategies are better. I've never even thought of that, but just thought of it now.
No, that's interesting. That is a good point. That is a good point.
Is it because I've got too much time on my hands and you're just running around crazy, and that's why you haven't got time?
No, I think everybody's busy. That's not the thing. I don't know. I do feel like I'm looking more forward than back. But is there anything wrong with that? There is something wrong with it. I was reading something, and we shouldn't really be looking forward or back. We should be taking advantage of the present.
Actually, once my midwife, when I had my, is it a midwife when they come round after you've had a kid? And she goes, we don't enjoy,
No, she's a home visitor or something. Anyway, go on, carry on.
and she goes, we don't focus on now and enjoy now. And you're like, yeah, you're always planning for what it's going to be like in the future. And you're like, oh, when this happens, I'm going to be happy then. And it shouldn't be like that. You should try to create the happiness now, not if I have this, then I'm going to be happy.
Do you know? So I do yoga, right? And that's what she said on the last session. And
I
she,
did yoga.
well, perhaps if you paid attention to things I tell you, it might help. But anyway, so she goes, people are going to think I'm so bitchy after this video version of it. But that's exactly what she said. And then she says it in a very calm voice because we're in the middle of yoga. So she's like, don't focus on the past. That's not what's going to make you happy. Or don't focus on waiting for something to happen. But it's a good point. Exactly what you just said. Like,
Yeah,
don't.
but I think it's funny. Yeah, I think that's true. But I think, people that give advice like that, I wonder how much is happening in their lives. Not that it matters because it's happening in everyone's life.
She can do a headstand. Who cares what's happening in her life? It's fantastic. It's so good. But anyway, let's go back to it. How is it working with a family member? How are you finding it generally? I know we've been a bit horrible in the first 12 minutes of this.
I understand why they say don't work with family, not in a horrible way, because in a way we kind of back each other up, as in there's certain things I won't need to say because you'll automatically know what I'm talking about, so I don't have to waste my words.
Mm.
But I understand why they say don't work with family, because things get so muddied. Like sometimes we're talking about our personal life, and then we bring up the organization life. We end up merging the two. Like yesterday, we had the FaceTime call with our brother, and we started saying, "Oh, did you do this meeting?" And it's like, no, it shouldn't. Work should be work, and we should be having this gossip session with our brother. Not that he gossips. Actually, there's nothing wrong with him gossiping.
Nothing wrong with it. He doesn't tell us enough, I say. Joking.
Then everything, and then because we get fed up with talking about work so much, we don't end up doing that personal stuff that we do need to discuss. Like there's something that I needed to discuss with you about. There's a couple of things I wanted to discuss with you, but we just don't do it anymore.
Mm. Do you think you should leave the organisation? I'm kidding.
I was going to swear.
I'm only joking. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I think the positive part of it is we have built this, and we've built relationships with such wonderful people, volunteers, and I think that has been the bonus out of all of this.
So are you saying that it's ruined our relationship, but it's good, we're good because you've got good relationships with everyone else?
I don't think it's ruined our relationship, but whatever, you don't know the damn rubbish. I don't think it's ruined our relationship, but it's tested it.
But do you find it funny when we've had a fight, straight afterwards, it
We
is like, okay, we just need to get on with it.
No, but do you find it funny that we both go and bitch to our husbands about each other, and then when they
I don't do that. But I know you do it because after I was speaking to party, he's like, yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I'm sure you do it, you're lying.
To be fair, it's only when in the evenings when I just want to watch TV. And I'm like, ugh. And Sook's obviously sitting there. So he knows that I don't want to talk to you. Although there have been times when you've been on the phone call and we aren't talking, we're doing other work. And he's like, I don't get why you still need to be on a phone call. But I'm
Honey,
like, just,
as well.
Yeah. I'm
It's
like, shh, just come away, we're busy.
But the thing is, when Pardeep says anything against you, I'm like, how dare you?
Well,
How
yeah.
you
It's
dare?
about being in the inner circle, isn't it?
That's true.
Where Pardeep's obviously in the inner circle sometimes when you want to talk about me. You're so,
The circle. But
yeah.
I think it's good that we can let off steam and then we have to come back and speak to each other anyway and be
I
nice.
think it's fine, to be fair. I mean, I think personally, on overall, although we're saying this, it has been quite positive because I am enjoying doing this, and it is easier because we can have a fight and then we'll have to come back, and then I'll tell mum and dad that you did this, and all that.
Oh, you do that?
Sometimes it depends on how annoyed I am, and I've become less annoyed because I've got used to you.
But it's funny, mum and dad don't tell us about each other's fights.
That's because I've realised they
They
don't
don't
listen. Yeah, they're not listening. They got enough going on. They don't care about what's going on in our lives. But anyway, so overall, come on. So working together, yes, it has changed the dynamics of our conversation. We are talking less about family life and more about developing the organization, which is I think is a positive. I enjoy it. I feel like I'm learning more like this.
But I think because we're both really hard workers, I feel we are bigging ourselves up, which we shouldn't do, but hey.
Why
But
not? We've learnt we should be.
actually that is true. Because we are such hard workers, we're hard on each other and we're hard on ourselves. We're achieving a lot.
But it also means that we're hard on other people when they're not achieving what we think that they need to achieve.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Well,
It's the expectation.
yeah. I mean, I was working up to what 10:30 yesterday.
But you do look after your well-being, don't you?
I do. I mean, one thing that I've always said is, I'm at the gym at 9 to 10 o'clock, so I don't take any conversation. So anyone that wants to phone me between those, just don't do it. Phone me at 10:15, I will pick up the phone. But yeah, I feel like it's been less stressful because I don't have to make an effort with people that I don't want to talk to. And if I don't want to talk to you, I just don't pick up.
Yeah, I have noticed.
No, don't do it like that. You know that don't do it like that. You're making it as if I'm being horrible.
What, you're being nice.
Sometimes it's good for you that you don't have to endure my bad moods.
That's a
You,
good.
you do. And it's not as if you're always merry. Like, let's not make out as if you're like the happiest person in the
I am.
world.
Why?
Okay, so I feel like, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, you're putting it down to the menopause, and I'm not going to dismiss that, to be fair.
Perimenopause.
Perimenopause, yeah, you're right. See, we've learned this stuff. And you've put it down to that, and I'm not going to dismiss it because I've learned that it is very, had it been before and we hadn't had those episodes, then I would be like, yeah, sort of thing. But I've realised how much an impact. But I feel like you've changed personally, as in you're a lot more feisty.
I
As
have.
in,
No, I've realised that I am more feisty.
you'll send text messages that I don't deserve sometimes. And that's not what you would have done before.
No, I have changed. My personality has changed. I think because I've got a shorter fuse now.
Hmm. But
But
then you wouldn't be having a short fuse if you were working with someone else. You're having a short fuse with me because we're sisters, right? And we're doing this.
that is true.
And
You
then sometimes I'm like, I can't say anything because you're just going to bite my head off.
whatever, you always say
No,
something.
100%. Sometimes I do have to I.
Same here.
So we have learnt that we are keeping our boundaries but then we wouldn't have to do. I suppose we would have to do that if we were working with other people, though.
Now, if we were other people, you have to be politically correct and you'd have to be nice. Not that we're not nice.
Yeah, but there was one period where we were both getting annoyed with each other, and we were like, "Look, we're going to have to set boundaries because." And to be fair, I remember you did say this. You did say, "Oh, I did say this before," right? And I was like, "Okay, fine,
Wait.
I get it," right? But we never set those boundaries.
But I think we've automatically set them now. We just don't call each other in the evenings.
Well, you phoned me like yesterday. No, we had a meeting yesterday evening. I think you. No, but I feel like we still haven't set certain boundaries. Maybe we need to set it now, live on this podcast.
Go on then. What's the boundary? We're not going to stick to it.
I don't know. I can't set them
Okay, so the question back at you: how do you feel like
about what working with you.
with?
No, I think it's overall it's a positive. There are some interesting sticky points where you just go crazy on me for no reason. And then I don't enjoy when you keep saying, "Well, I did say this."
Gosh.
No, you're right. I did say this. That's so yeah. I'm not a fan of that. But overall, I know that I can have a fight with you. You'll back off because you do know when to back off when I'm annoyed. And with you, I've learned that I need to back off because of your perimenopause. It's true because you are changing personality, and that's fine. I am taking that in my stride now. I've learned a lot more. And anyone that hasn't, like I said, you need to listen to some of those episodes. The gossiping one we've spoken about, the menopause one we've clearly spoken about. We've spoken about a number of episodes. But I am learning a lot. I feel like it works
So would
because
you advise anyone else to work with their family if they're just at the start of just thinking about it, not doing it, not into it, not 2 years into it because it's going to be our birthday soon, or changing suits birthday, should I say?
don't think that you aren't going to have sticky periods because we are quite close. We were prior to this. But everyone pisses everyone off at some point. And obviously we're having to talk a lot more, and it then goes into our personal lives as well. It's not a 9 to 5. It's a as soon as Taj wakes up. I mean, Suk said it as well the other day. I'm like, oh, Taj has woken up because you sent me a text message about having to do something.
That's not nice.
He did say it though. You might want to talk to him.
No, I'd rather not.
It's fine. So yeah, it does seep into our personal lives. But is that a bad thing? I mean, our lives.
What would you advise if someone else was going to start their journey or just think about it? Would you say don't
So,
do it at all?
no. I think you have to like the person. That's a compliment to you, though, right? It's a compliment.
Well, I would hope you'd like your family member.
No, some people don't, and then they step into starting something up with them and realize that it's not a good idea. We know that that's what happens.
If you didn't like them anyway, why would you even think about starting up with them?
No, some people are like, oh, I've got an idea, let's do this. And then they work with their friends and they do it. And then they're not going to end up being friends like that. I think it's different with family. Genuinely, some people just do it. But I think you need to like the person and be on the same wavelength. I think we are on the same wavelength, to be fair. You know when to back off. I know when to back off.
So you just like them, you don't need to love them.
Is that a conversation? Is that a conversation you would have had with one of your colleagues before?
Whoa, that would go to HR, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Okay. So, I mean, the advice that I'd give is know the other person, but you will have conflict. You do need to set boundaries before. I think a 9 to 5 work thing would work, but I don't know.
Oh, we have meetings in the evening, so
I don't know. But we are talking about our personal lives a lot less. Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
I don't know. How much personal life did we have to talk about?
I mean, we were talking quite a lot prior.
I think maybe we don't concentrate on it so much because we're so focused in on work.
Yeah, I do agree with that. So yeah, do it if you can stand the person, but know that there are going to be some sticky moments. It's not going to be plain sailing. That's something I have learnt.
It was good to have, like, for example, we've got
A referee.
Yeah, like if it really gets bad, then we'll have to go to mum and dad, won't we?
Yes.
It's always good to have that middle ground person that you have to kind of answer to, and that will tell you off if you don't be sisters again.
How old are you? I mean, there was, yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say we did go to our brother once and said, she said this, he said, and well, to be fair, he was like, okay, whatever, I don't care, sort of thing. And then you sort of realise that you just have to get on with it. Anyway, okay, take this seriously. I feel like we're mumbling on about this. Where do you think we should go going forward?
We should remain sisters.
Don't have a choice.
And I think we're on a good path.
We have a laugh.
Yeah. And if you can't have a laugh, what's the point?
But I think you made a good point before, right? You're saying that.
Very good point.
But we are meeting some really interesting people. I mean, we've just recorded a really interesting podcast prior to this, and I'm like, I didn't know this stuff. So I love what we're doing. Like, I'm learning so much. And I can carry my sister with me. It's all good.
That's not nice.
I'm only joking. Someone's taken it personally.
I'm going to go to HR.
Who would I? What, Dad? But anyway, overall, let's wrap this up because this has pretty much just been us having a bit of a laugh with some serious stuff. How would you like to finish this podcast off, Jacinta?
It's okay to work with family, but be warned.
And that's our first. I think this was actually quite a good podcast to start off on video.
Do you like the way we like bigging ourselves up?
I don't think we bigged ourselves up. Where did we big ourselves up? If anything, I've just been bitching about you, and you clearly have been bitching about me.
I wouldn't call it bitching, but anyway.
Let's call it constructive feedback.
Okay, let's call it that.
Because we're in a work environment. So we don't call it bitching. We call it constructive feedback.
Which I'm going to work on and develop on.
Yes. And we'll see if you have met your expectations next year when we review this. In fact, let's do that before we finish this off. What do you want to work on? You know, when they used to do that at work, I used to hate it, but I get why they used to do it. I mean, they did it because it was, part of the whole corporate world thing. But I do get it. I've learned that these things actually do matter. What do you want to work on? 3 things you want to work on.
Our relationship?
No, your personal things.
Oh. No?
No. Personal. You know those goal setting?
Development.
Yeah.
To build confidence. To actually meet our targets.
Yes.
And be the best.
Fair enough. I'd go with, I feel like we don't use time well enough.
We do. Yeah, we need to cut down on talking. We talk too much to each other.
I do agree with that. Maybe we should just do it on recording podcasts because not only will it go out every week, but yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like we procrastinate too much, and that is part of us talking too much for no reason. Number 2 is, I don't know. I think we're pretty focused. We are focused.
Yeah.
Do you think we should be enjoying life a bit? I know this is not part of our thingy, but socializing more outside of work.
What, with each other or?
No, not with that.
What are you talking about?
Not really. I don't feel like I'm enjoying
evening.
No, but that's to do like clubs and stuff with the kids. It's not me enjoying my life. Not that I don't enjoy my life when I'm with the kids, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I need to think about this one. This is why I never used to enjoy these things at work either. Anyway, all right. So that's the end of our podcast. Our conclusion is work with family is completely fine as long as you do get on and you can just let it go. Let it go, let it go. I sang that to Ripko yesterday. She didn't want to hear it.
Anyway.
Okay. So, over and out. I hope you've enjoyed our first online video podcast. And we are looking to develop this. So, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. And we'll see you on the next podcast. That's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, changing_suits, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.